Rugby World Rankings, folks, after 2 rounds of the Six Nations 2025. What are the changes? What are the possible permutations going forward? And just who's qualified for the World Cup? Because we've got 4 teams who are confirmed for the next tournament for the men's in 2027 in Australia. We'll go through it and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how fair or not you reckon the rankings are at the minute. South Africa's obviously still there in number 1. 92.78, but the gap has closed. Ireland's victory over Scotland saw them gain 0.58, and if you like this image, and it's a cool tool to have a play around with. It's a website which I'll link down in the description. It's free. You can have a tutu around with that to see what would happen if this team beat that team and by what margin. So Ireland have gone up by 0.58, which has closed the gap. But they won't be able to catch the Box, at least immediately, because their next opponent is Wales. And if you remember from every time we've talked about how the rankings work, you can't take points off teams who are more than 10 points below you. And even if Wales was scored at +3 for being at home, which would put them on, 76.75, that's still far below Ireland's 91.36. So Ireland, if they get a win over Wales, will take a whole lot of nothing, barring, another step forward in their Six Nations campaign. But in World Rankings terms, they'll be taking a whole lot of nothing. New Zealand's there in 3rd, and France have kind of dropped with that loss to England to a middling spot between the All Blacks and the Pumas. 87's below 90 and ahead at 84. So France kind of a little bit in that middle at the moment. 6th spot is England, which at the moment is a very important spot for World Cup qualification because you'll be in the top seeded sides. So they've taken that from the Scots by getting the win over France, and Scotland losing to Ireland. So Scotland have dropped, England have gained, so they have swapped spots, which is very tasty because next round of the Six Nations they play each other at Twickenham, so Scotland could certainly get that back. England are a little bit too far away from the Pumas to catch them just yet, but they could get close. Australia is there in 8th, Fiji 9th, and then Italy did take a little bit of points off the Welsh with their win, 0.26. And then Georgia. Georgia have gone up. They didn't need to take any points because they were also in action at the weekend. But Wales, with their drop in points, have dropped below Georgia into 12th spot in the Rugby World Rankings. Wales are in 12th. That's we've seen Italy behind Georgia in the past. But yeah, Georgia is ahead of Wales. In the Rugby World Rankings. Japan, Samoa, USA, Portugal, Uruguay, Spain. That ranks us out to the kind of 18th side. And then the only other changes, Spain did take some points and Romania did take some points in their matches. But more importantly, Georgia, with their win over the Netherlands, 40 points to 7, have qualified for the World Cup. Congratulations, Georgia. They didn't take any points off the Netherlands, as I mentioned, because the gap between the sides is too big. Belgium lost to Romania, so that saw Romania qualify for the next World Cup. So congratulations, Romania. Spain also qualified for the World Cup with their win over the Swiss, 43-13. And Portugal, whose jersey I am wearing at the moment. Fun team, I think, to watch. A lot of people enjoy watching the Portuguese. They've qualified with their 56-14 win over the Germans. So some pretty lopsided results in Tier 2 European rugby at the weekend. But big congratulations to those teams. It's always a massive thing to book in that spot for the World Cup, especially for Spain, having been kind of qualifying and then getting kicked out of World Cups for technical reasons in the past. So yeah, that's how the World Rankings stand at the minute. Like I said, South Africa's safe at number 1. Ireland has been closing the gap. England and Scotland going to battle out for 6th spot when we get back underway in a fortnight's time. And Wales, I mean, if they could get a miracle win over the Irish, they would be able to go past Georgia again. So that would at least be kind of a bit of good news for them. The Italians could also pass Fiji if they were to get a win, which would be getting into kind of very high territory for the Italians, because as long as I've been doing these World Rankings, as I said, they've often floated around below Georgia because they would just lose all their Six Nations games and never were able to get any points. But yes, you guys let us know your thoughts on the World Rankings, how you reckon they are sitting. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, folks. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.